So Next On Games has just released their second game guide. This time it's going to be covering the module system, so let's go ahead and look into this one and see what information we can gather from it. Jumping straight into it, in this second guide we will explore the module system, a key feature that allows you to enhance your descendants and weapons. Modules are items that were previously called runes in the last Steam beta, and have been renamed to fit better in the sci-fi world of the First Descendant. As a result, the design of the item image has been changed to resemble a chipset. Several other changes, such as the way that modules are applied, module socket types, and how capacity cost is increased, will be explained in this guide. Please note that this guide was written based on the crossplay open beta, and some of the content may change at official launch. Alright, so next up they have the table of contents, which we're going to skip over and get straight into it. Starting with number 1, what is the module system? The module system allows you to attach modules to the descendants and weapons to enhance their stats. Modules can be set from the descendant/weapon, and each module displays a list of descendants/weapons that can use it. Let's begin by taking a look at how you can use modules with your descendant. Section 1-1, using descendant modules. You can set modules for your current descendant directly by pressing inventory, which is the I key, and clicking descendant modules on the left side. If you want to preset modules for other descendants that you own in addition to the current one in use, you can do so by using the following path, which it has the path laid out there. We're not going to run through that. If you want to, you can pause it and look that over. It does state though, however, please note that you can only preset modules for unused descendants that are active. Modules cannot be preset for locked descendants, so the descendants that you've unlocked already in the game, even if they're not your current active descendant, you'll be able to set those modules for them. However, any descendant that's still locked, you will not be able to set the modules for those. Let's go ahead and move down. Alright, it goes over the module setting path currently for an active descendant, and then the module setting path for an inactive descendant. Section 1-2, using weapon modules. As mentioned earlier, you can set modules for each weapon. Hovering over the weapon that you want to set the modules for and pressing the module settings, which is the N key, takes you to that weapon's module settings screen. For equipped weapons, you can set modules by hovering over the period symbol on the right side of the equipped weapon on the left side of the inventory, which is the I key, then clicking the button that takes you directly to that weapon's module settings. Scrolling down here, it is giving you an explanation, so hovering over the weapon, which is what it just covered, and then right here it's giving you a picture of using the dot key next to the weapon, which brings up the module icon that you'll be able to use in order to access the modules for that weapon. Weapons with the same name will have the same module settings applied, even if they have different stats such as weapon level or DPS. Therefore, if you preset modules for each weapon you acquire, then later acquire a higher stat weapon with the same name, you don't have to set the modules again. The preset modules will be applied automatically when you equip the weapon. If you wish to set your modules in advance, open the weapons list on the left side of your inventory, where you can find all the weapons you've acquired so far are active. Please note that you can set modules for activated weapons by hovering over it, and it goes down here to give you an example of your active weapons. Now, scrolling on down here, after selecting a weapon or a descendant to set the modules as described above, you can see the module settings screen as shown below. On the module settings screen, the information for your selected weapon or descendant is displayed in the top left. As a default, weapons have 6 basic slots, while descendants have 6 slots plus 2 slots for sub and skill modules for a total of 8 slots. Slots can be expanded through mastery rank ups, which will be explained in more detail. Moreover, when the module is equipped, it is reflected under the applied values on the left, making it easier to see how the values change according to the module equipped. Thus, it is easy to try on various modules and find the best module settings for you. If you are unsure which modules to equip, you can use the auto-equipped module feature on the right side of the module screen. When you use this feature, modules you own will be recommended and equipped based on your descendant and weapon class. Pressing the auto-equip modules button shows a preview of recommended modules based on your current max capacity, and all previous equipped modules are unequipped. When you're done setting the modules, you must press save, which is going to be your S key, to save the set modules. If you leave without saving, your module settings will be reverted to your previous module settings. If some module settings have been changed, a pop-up will appear when you leave the module settings screen to ask whether the settings should be saved. Then you can decide whether you want to save or leave without saving. This is simply something that it's going to have in place to make sure that you know that things have been changed and confirm whether or not you want those changes to happen. If you don't confirm it, then anything that you've done up to this point is going to be reverted back to what it was. So I want to take a brief moment to cover what all you're seeing here on this screen. So right here, you've got your weapon and you've got your applied modules. Now those modules have applied values to them. So what you're seeing over here is the values that you're getting based off the modules you have equipped. Now if you change out your modules to different ones, you're going to have new applied values, and it's going to show you the differences between your old modules to your new ones. Now if we scroll down to this one, we have the auto equip module button, which this is the button that it was referring to, that when you hit it, it's going to change out all the modules that are applied to your weapon and to your descendant to give you the preferred modules that it believes that you should be using. And then once you've done this, it's going to ask you if you would like to save your settings or if you'd like to revert back to your previous modules. And that's pretty much all this is showing here. So I wanted to go over this real quick, and now we'll continue on. To be able to set modules that suit you best, you will need to obtain a lot of them. You can obtain modules from mission completion rewards and killing monsters. New modules can also be obtained by combining modules. However, you cannot equip all modules you obtain, as there are some restrictions. You can only equip as many modules as there are module slots. You can only equip one module for the same group. You can only equip as many modules as your module capacity allows. We will wrap up the explanation on basic module concepts here and move on to specific module features such as combining modules, increasing the number of slots, and expanding module capacity. There is a tips section here, which modules are separate for each weapon and descendant. Module setting path for equipped weapons is under your inventory. You hover over an equipped weapon, you go into module settings, and you set the module. Module setting path for each acquired weapon is in your inventory. Under the weapons list, hover over the active weapon, and then go into the module settings and set the module. Module setting path for currently active descendants is in your inventory. You click the descendant module on the left side and you set the module. And the module setting path for inactive descendants is under descendants. You go into your descendant list, you select a descendant, you go into the details, and you click module settings. And next is going to be tip 2. When you're done setting modules, press save, which is the S key. After comparing a variety of modules and optimizing the settings, press save or the settings will not be saved. If some module settings have been changed, a save setting pop-up will appear when you leave the module screen, and you can decide to save the settings or not. Leaving without saving reverts to the previous module settings, so make sure that you press save. Here is going to be the pop-up that's going to occur whenever you have changed your modules and are waiting to apply the settings. Alright, moving right along, we have tip number 3. You can only equip one module from the same group. The module group information is shown at the bottom of the module image, and for modules in the same attack group as shown below, only one can be set even if they are different types of modules. So right here at the bottom of the module, it tells you which group it's a part of. Since both of these are a part of the attack group, you're only going to be able to set one of these modules. Section number 2, dismantling and enhancing modules. You can dismantle, enhance, and combine modules through the NPC Celion and Albion. Modules require gold and Cooper shards to be enhanced. They can be enhanced up to the same level as your mastery rank with a maximum enhancement level of 10. An example of this is at mastery rank 3, modules can be enhanced to level 3. Cooper shards can be obtained by dismantling modules. So if you dismantle any duplicate or unnecessary module to collect Cooper shards and then use them to enhance key modules, you cannot fail when enhancing a module, but you can only enhance modules up to your mastery rank. As the module level increases, more gold and Cooper shards are needed. Enhancing increases not only the stats but also the capacity cost, so make sure to check the capacity cost before enhancing. Now what it's referring to is when we look at a module here, you have your capacity cost. Once you increase this module, the amount that it's going to cost you in capacity is also going to increase, so if you don't have enough capacity to equip this anymore, then you're not going to be able to use this one. So make sure that you're checking this capacity before you're upgrading it. Tip number 1, when dismantling modules, try using select duplicate modules. It is possible to dismantle modules after sorting them by your preferred sorting criteria and selecting them individually, but you can also use the select duplicate modules located at the bottom, a handy feature that allows you to select all of your duplicate modules at once. Using select duplicate modules selects all but one of the duplicate modules you currently own. Tip number 2, when enhancing modules, try using the show equipped modules only feature. There is a convenient feature that allows you to see all of your equipped modules at once when you enhance a module. When you press show equipped modules only, located at the bottom of the enhanced module screen, you will see a list of all modules that are equipped on your weapons and active descendants. Please note that this also shows the modules that are set on unused weapons and inactive descendants. And then we've got a tip for checking module information. Alright, so So for this, we have a green, which is going to be your module group, which this one is going to be the Arche Tech. Only one module from the same group can be equipped. And then in orange, we have the module's enhancement level. The yellow gauge on the left side of the module is filled accordingly to the enhancement level. So right here, we have the orange for enhancement level. Right here, below it is going to be what the level actually is. And over here, it shows it again. And it's going to be right here on the right as this fills up, the higher level it is. And then in red, we have the capacity cost. For the capacity on this one, it's going to cost you 30 if you want to use this one. Module socket type information is right here in yellow. As you can see here, this one is the malachite socket type. And then in blue is going to be your module class for checking descendants and weapon types that can equip this module. So right here, the module class for this one is descendant. So this one's only going to be equipable on a descendant and not a weapon. Moving right along, we have section 3, combining modules. You can combine modules starting at mastery rank 5 or higher. Combining modules requires 4 modules and a certain amount of gold regardless of the module tier or type, and has a success rate of 100%. When combining, the resulting module can be affected by the tier, type, and socket type of modules used as materials. Section 4, increasing module slots and capacity. 4-1, increasing module slots. The number of module slots increases through mastery rank ups. Tip: what is a mastery rank up? You receive a certain amount of mastery EXP from leveling your descendant, increasing your weapon's proficiency, completing missions and quest rewards. When the mastery rank EXP bar is full, you can perform a mastery rank up through the prime hands in Albion. When a rank up is available but you don't take it immediately, you can still accumulate rank up EXP from playing the game. That means you can rank up at any time when you next visit Albion. As your mastery rank increases, your weapon/descendant modules, your capacity, and equipment inventory/storage slots also increase according to the increased rank. You can see the benefits of each mastery rank by clicking the mastery rank area under your inventory and then under descendants. So it's showing right here that on your screen at the bottom of it, you're going to see your current level and your mastery rank. And then down here is if you go into your mastery rank area under your inventory for descendants, you're going to be able to see the different stages of mastery ranks and what benefits that you're going to get from them. Moving on along, we have the prime hands in Albion. This is where you're going to go to commit that mastery rank. And this is the device that you're going to go visit when you're ready to hit the mastery rank up button. Once you do this, your mastery rank up will happen and you will receive all of the benefits for the next rank. 4-2, increasing module capacity. You can increase module capacity through mastery rank ups and a one-time increase of max capacity in the module settings. In addition, assigning a module socket type allows you to socket modules with matching socket types in the corresponding slots at a reduced capacity cost for efficient utilization. Number 1 is increasing max capacity. You can increase max capacity one time by pressing module, additional settings, increase max capacity on the right side of the module settings screen for weapons and descendants. However, increasing module capacity requires energy activators, which are obtained through research requests. Information about research requests will be provided in a separate guide later. Right here, you can see the module additional settings. Number 2, what are module socket types? Assigning a socket type to a module slot and socketing a module that matches that slot socket type reduces the module's capacity cost, which allows you to manage capacity efficiently. You can assign module socket types at module additional settings, assign a module socket type on the right side of the module screen. However, please note that socketing a module with a different socket type increases the capacity cost. So what it's showing right here is going to be a module that has been socketed into a corresponding slot that matches, and therefore it's at a reduced cost. While next to this one is another module that is socketed inappropriately, and therefore it is at an increased cost. So you need to make sure that if a socket has a certain type to it, that you don't put a module in there that has a different type. We have only one socket type is assigned to a descendant module slots by default, and no socket type is assigned to weapon module slots. To be able to assign module socket types, your descendant must have reached a maximum level of currently 40, and weapons must have reached the maximum proficiency level, currently 40. And you must also have the crystallization catalyst. After all conditions are met, assigning a module socket type resets the maximum level of a weapon/descendant, and you can only assign a module socket type using crystallization catalyst again after reaching the maximum level once more. Tip right here: obtaining energy activators and crystallization catalyst. Obtained by crafting from Albion, NPC Annis, research request. Upon completing a sub-quest, you receive materials for crafting items such as a blueprint for energy activators and a crystallization catalyst. You can visit NPC Annis to craft those items for yourself. Down here we have the recap of the information that was just covered. Section 5 is Introduction to Submodules and Skill Modules. 5-1 Submodules. Equipping a submodule allows you to perform a variety of melee action attacks depending on the module type, with improved damage and attack range over sub-attacks without a submodule equipped. Submodules have an initial capacity of 0, but their max capacity increases with elements, which also increases the max module capacity of the Descendants equipping an enhanced submodule. Right here is going to be the max module capacity cost up is 2 for this module. 5-2 is Skill Modules. Skill modules modify the ability of Descendant skills to become even more powerful. In other words, these modules can only be used exclusively for the Descendant that they were made for. And the example they're giving here is going to be Hypothermia, which is an exclusive for Viessa/Ultimate Viessa. And the text for it reads that when a skill is used, inflicts Ice Needle instead of Ice Shackle. When Ice Needle reaches a certain number of stacks, passive skills are triggered. Ice Needle continues to damage to the target. Damage increases as it stacks. And there is an example of what a skill module is used for. Now moving on, we have the module recap, which number 1, modules are separately for each Descendants and weapons on their respective module setting screens, and then it's got the pathway for those, which we already covered. Number 2 is you can set modules, change socket types, and increase max capacity on the module setting screens. Number 3, you can enhance, dismantle, and combine modules through NPC Cilion and Albion. Number 4, changing socket types requires reaching maximum level for a Descendant and maximum proficiency level for a weapon, along with the crystallization catalyst, and it goes through all the information which we covered there. And number 5 is you can increase max capacity one time for each Descendant and weapon, and it requires energy activators. That's going to wrap it up for this guide. Hopefully you found this information useful. If there was anything about it that you didn't quite understand, just let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to check back for all things First Descendant related, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.